It's a Sunday maybe. Yeah, so just to recap, uh, we, we, uh, we talked about what a business is, right? Um, Solving a problem, addressing a need. We've talked about what a business canvas is, right? Business module, that's the fact that it's the same thing. And we talked about the most important elements, right? The rationale, the logical steps that an organization takes to create, deliver, and captures value. Yeah. And we spoke about customer segmentation. Right? And then logically, what's the next step? It's value proposition. So we spoke about the different value proposition. We divided it in two, just as a reminder. One is the value that you're proposing to your set customer segment, and the second one is how yours is different or more competitive as compared to the competitor, right? In regards to the customer. Now we're gonna move to. It's not loud though. Hello. Okay. Yeah, we did the pricing, cost reduction. This is within the value proposition. Risk reduction. We talked. I think we ended with the accessibility, right? With Ride being one example in Ethiopia. Oh, sorry, we finished with convenience, right? So how, for example, with one platform at Apple, you can you could buy music from iTunes and listen to it on the same device and iPod, right? Convenience. And I gave an example of Addis Delivery and how using convenience they've managed to become very very profitable. Now we're gonna move into channels. I think maybe let's try this. I guess I wanted to do this at the end, but do people prefer that I put some PowerPoints so you can look at it, or you wanna get the PowerPoint at the end? You wanna see the PowerPoint? At the end? Is it okay? But again, we'll go through the PowerPoint later on. Then we'll go through the journey, and it will make more sense. Okay. So the channel. So think of it this way: if the customer segmentation, right, the different departments of the customers are here, and the value proposition is right here that we talked about. The channel is what connects the customer to the value proposition. It's the bridge, right? Always think about it as the bridge. Actually, maybe this would be better if just remember how we talked about it? Create, product, or a service, right? That's a business, right? Solving a problem, addressing a need. Always have that in the back of your mind, right? Deliver. Then deliver, customer. So look, and then it goes to the revenue captures, goes to the creative, the circle, right? That's why we talk about business canvas. Right? So you see customer segments. Which customers and users are you serving? We talked about that, right? With jobs. Jobs in what sense? Are you product or service? Are you using a product service to address a problem? To solve a problem or address a need? Right? Which jobs do they really want to get done? So just to give you, right, customer segments. That's why you start from the customer, right? And then value proposition. We talked about it, right? What are you offering to them, right? What is that getting done for them? Do they care? Blah blah blah. So to be honest, I don't like the side notes. They seem very simplistic, right? And you guys are not simplistic, like you know what we're talking about. But is using this because it's trying to, like I said, that's why I started with why you're an entrepreneur and get your mind running, right? So these words, I know they're kind of like vague, but I think we went to much more detail in our talk. So you got your customer segmentation, you got your value proposition, but look, there's a gap, right? They're not interconnecting. That's why this comes along, the channel. Look how the arrow is going. The arrow is not going from the customer to the value proposition. Why should it is, right? It's from the owner, we, the business, the provider, the entrepreneur. It's the entrepreneur that has to get the value proposition channeled to the customer, right? So we're going to talk about what we mean by channels. Channel definition is how a company reaches the customer segments to deliver the value proposition, right? Deliver the value proposition to the customer segments, right? So what does that mean? So channels is mainly divided with into three segments, right? 3 areas, not segments, sorry. 3 areas. One is communication, second one is distribution, third is sales channels. Mind you, I'm going to give you these notes later on, don't worry. But just now we're going into the technical element, right? So what am I talking about? Is communication, distribution, sales channel. It's logistic, right? And then also it also incorporates the different sales channels that are used. So channels, customer experience at the end of the day, right? So it's a combination of logistics plus customer experience equals channels. That's the best way to remind yourself, right? What a channel is. So it's about, for example, there are 5 channels. It's this is how you have to ask yourself as a business, right? You have to ask yourself, how do we create awareness, right? How do we help customers evaluate our VP, value proposition, right? How do we allow customers to purchase our VP products, right? How do we deliver, and what do we get out of, how do we get in touch after sale? Now I know that's a lot to intake, but if you wanna remember it, like I said, everything we're talking about is using logic, the logic of business. So if you wanna remember, what did I say? When we talk about channels, it's customer relation plus logistics, right? Actually, okay, let's put aside logistics for a second. Customer relations, what are we talking about? I have a product, right? So look at how it works. First, the customer has to be aware that I have a product or a service. So then, of course, logically, because we're using business and logic, right? The logical mindset of a business. Logically, I have to think about my business. How am I going to create awareness about my business? What tools am I going to use? That's number 1, right? If he doesn't know, or if she doesn't know I have a product or service, then we're all wasting our time, right? So awareness is number 1. And then number 2 is like, okay, the customer is aware, right? Let's use like an example. Let me use one of your examples. Who has an idea for a business they want to do? Like, it's okay, you can tell. Just an idea, or product or a service. Anyone? Yeah, well, like what product or service are you? Yeah, your business idea. Or if you don't want yours, just any, it's fine, any. Business idea, product or service. Okay. Yes, Airbnb. Okay, like a local version of Airbnb. Perfect. Yeah. Yes, that's, you're taking my idea. I had that idea back a while back. I wrote an article. I'll share it with you if you're interested. It was on local tourism and there's potential. And I was focusing on how, there are Airbnbs here, but they're a little bit. But I started thinking, like, wouldn't it be really cool, not only cool, but also profitable, great enterprise. If we actually had you know how we have the local version of Uber, right? The local version of Airbnb. And I was thinking more of not just in Addis, but like, because I'm tired of going to this beautiful places in Ethiopia, like Waliso, or there are tons of beautiful places, or Arba Minch, right? And you go there and you really just, you don't care about the hotel. You want to enjoy the scenery, meet the people, eat the food. But all the hotels charge you like $100, $200, right? And I always used to think, would it be really cool if we had like an Airbnb? Yeah, anyway, I don't want to diverge, but that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea. So now, think of it this way. So you said that I also used to work in digital marketing. That's a really good way to actually go for the channel, right? The digital platform. But don't forget also, flyers, talking to radio stations, whatever, is also important in addition to the digital platform. But digital platforms are very important, like you stated. Now, let's use sorry, remind me your name? Mahdi? Mahir? Okay. So let's talk about Mahir's business here. So now you have to create awareness. You have this great idea. People have to be aware, right? I didn't know before you told me, right? So imagine if I'm the average Ethiopian, or I don't know who your customer segment is. I don't know if it's catering to expats or diasporas or the middle class, but hopefully after this, it will come to which segment you're focusing on. But so the channels. So first you have to make your service aware to the general mass or to your customer segmentation, right? So now you have to think, all right, so how do I create awareness of my product or service? So it's okay.